Hi, my name is Brady Sprunger. I'm here with James Waite, and we're just having a nice little conversation about consciousness and humanness and life, and we're just having a conversation here. So here we go.
Great. Lovely.
So
Thanks for inviting me to join you.
yeah, no, thanks for coming. That's great. So we were just chatting a little bit about I was mentioning that humanness keeps going. I mean, I feel like for myself, I keep finding new aspects of who I am as a person that I mean, it's just like there's so much nuance and there's human needs and there's human emotions and there's things that are wanted and needed and exciting and I mean there's so many details that are specific. I feel like I have a tendency to go off into the ambience, non-specific, but I'm learning to come into the specifics and like what do I really want as a person? This person. What does this person want? You know? And it's really important and it has its own kind of rewards for finding that out.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. So what I'm seeing in that respect, just sort of recently, it's every day a little revelation, occasionally a little revolution.
hmm
But in terms of personhood, I'm finding that the drive behind my thinking that I am, or in this case, I'll say was, a person,
hmm
um, is a, it arises from awareness itself
mm.
in the sense, in many senses, but one of the recognitions that I've been dwelling with and walking and hiking with and whatever it seems, um, is that awareness has identity.
Okay.
It ain't personal. There's the quick
hmm
so for before one rushes to one's ego rushes in and says, "Oh, good, I want some of that."
mm
There is nothing in awareness for ego,
mm
for the person, which is
hmm
the ego, the personally constructed, believed ego. Um, but awareness, the power of awareness is that we're always aware. This we just discover that we have been and are always aware.
mm
And in my sense, I misunderstood that identity that's intrinsic to awareness as being the me person.
Okay.
So we can push that around a bit, but
No, no,
I'll,
no.
I'll
Go
say,
ahead.
yeah, I'll say that maybe in another way or two, or we get it's just fun to exchange these things. And I mean fun, I mean freeing and nourishing, as we were talking about earlier, that the truth, the person, exploring the person is to explore the consciousness of humanity and
Yes.
all of its sufferings and ignorances and pleasures and pains and that whole panorama of experience that we have.
Yeah.
The awareness of that is what I'm referring to, that has the actual identity that we mistake and mislabel as me, the person.
Mm-hmm.
That identity. I am a person. I am James. James. I
Right.
this world is what I um, make it, what I label it, what I believe it to be.
Yeah.
If you go back into the examination of that I in identity, it's just been oh, what's the word? There's some really good words there, but I just go with taken over by belief that the person exists when in truth and in fact, the identity that one believes is me
Mm-hmm.
is actually awareness,
Yes. Yep.
awareness itself, pure awareness, because
Right.
there is only pure awareness. Awareness can never get corrupted.
True. That's true.
Never. It can't. If it could, then all would be kind of lost because,
Right.
but so the notions of being a person, the beliefs, the operating principles, the societal supports we get, everything that tells us that I am
Mm-hmm.
this person and you are that person and we are separate.
Right.
All of that is the strength of that identity is has been annexed or hijacked by the mind
Mm.
with its ideas of, or the ego with its ideas of and beliefs in being a person. That whole myth of personhood is a is we feel it very powerfully. You telling me I don't exist?
Right.
You do exist. It's just not you that exists. You, the person, you,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
person that you believe you are. That world is mind made and imagined
Mm.
and believed and to die for.
Mm.
The, uh, the strength of that belief is that something in us knows I am,
Mm.
right? And we think that is me, the person that, quote, knows I am.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When in reality, it's awareness itself
Mm.
that has its own identity. It's hard to describe because it isn't personal. So there's no qualities there. It
Mm.
like in a person, we can talk about all the qualities of being a person. And I don't really want to get into that because that's going off in a direction that I think we pretty much know what our personal aspects are, and our likes and dislikes and fears and concerns and worries, and we're getting to know that more and more intimately just
Yeah.
in aware living, right? Just in aware living.
Yeah.
It's just, I think, has been for me insightful to recognize that the strength of my belief in being a person called James, et cetera, is annexed or taken over or borrowed from the actual identity that there is in awareness. But awareness has no me. It's a it's another word for awareness is love. Love has no me in it. There's no
Mm.
lover
Yeah.
in love.
Yeah.
Love gives, right?
Yeah.
anything that's real doesn't have my ideas about it, my inclinations, disinclinations, hates,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
fears. I mean, reality isn't like that. Look out your window, look at nature, go
Yeah.
take a walk and see whether you get any support at all for what you think you're looking at.
Right. Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you might go to your biology class in your mind and, oh, that's a, you know, epithymus mythymus, to quote a little Latin.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, wink. Um, but, we think that by labeling something, as you've heard me say, by dissecting a frog into its various etymological descriptions, we think we know what a frog is, but we actually haven't a clue. We don't know what anything actually is
Mm-hmm.
through our mind's conceptual rendering, re-rendering representations of it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. And when you start to see that, it never ends. So you don't even start, you just recognize, oh, sure, I knew that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we know what's obvious. We know
Mm.
we obviously have been playing it and pretending to know
Mm.
all these years about what we are, who we are, what's going on,
Right.
uh, uh, all the ways that we form opinions that um, constitute this critter
Mm. Yeah.
called James.
Mm-hmm.
When the recognition of awareness dawns, and I say that it dawns, it seems to, I can only refer my own experience. It seems that there's two parts to that. One is there has to be a timeless recognition to know the timeless. You can't
Mm.
you can't study the what you are, the awareness that you actually are with the mind and accumulate knowledge about it and get there. There's no becoming to what you are already.
Mm.
No
Mm.
becoming, no need to, but we go off, and I certainly did two or three, over 2 decades of uh, mind search, heart
Mm.
search,
Mm.
feeling search. And you won't, the recognition that there is the awareness of the searching,
That's a
but
good
there is
one.
no,
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
right. Yeah, the awareness of the searching, there is no searcher becomes evident. There is just awareness. I'll say love, loving, love seeking itself, growing itself, nurturing itself.
Mm.
The notions of achieving, becoming, acquiring, improving, getting better, um, when put in the recognition that one already is everything they were seeking: peace, beauty,
Mm.
joy, love. You could even say while those elements are the presence, are the descriptions kind of presence, in that presence, there's also, but it's not really there, but I'm just saying it for clarification, perhaps, or whatever. there's an absence of fear,
Mm.
of worry, of personhood, and all of the amalgam of that the person has accumulated, all the knowledge of being a person. That has been There's an absence of that.
And I feel like there's also an awareness of a human animal
Yeah,
that is like that's here that has
yeah,
certain needs that awareness is seems to be intuitively aware of. That seems to know exactly what needs to happen, how it needs to happen for this this animal, you know?
yeah, yeah.
And it has this sort of sense of just waiting for the animal to allow that infinite awareness to kind of meet those needs. It's as if it's doing it automatically without
That's
any kind of
real. That's real. I
yeah.
mean, at that level, at the within time and space,
Hmm.
which is where the person exists.
Hmm.
Um, you know, what's that Shakespeare said? Scratch me, do I not bleed? Something like
Yeah.
that.
Cut me, maybe. Scratch,
Cut
maybe.
me, yeah, pretty, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Right.
Um, so there's not a denial of reality in the what I call consciousness, the sentient six aspect,
Yeah.
seeing, touching, tasting,
Hmm.
uh, all of the senses, and thought, which is also a material thing. It's hard to
Right.
think of thought as material.
That
Yeah.
is true, but it does. I'm becoming increasingly aware of the impact of thoughts, that thoughts have real potency and impact on the world in general.
They're material. I remember
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Krishnamurti in something that I saw of him. He pointed to a carpet underneath the kitchen table, and he said, "Thought is like the carpet under that table. It's material,
Mm, mm.
just like feelings are material. They're in the world of time space again. That's the world that we know and think we know and come to know and feel
Yeah.
variously engaged in. And it's essential that we do that.
I think, yeah, exactly. I don't think it's good to, because I feel like I've gone into kind of denial of reality for a period of time, as
Uh,
if the only thing that really matters is consciousness and this life doesn't matter, which is
yeah,
another ego kind of paradigm that's
yeah,
operating. It's not
yeah.
truly letting go, you
No,
know?
no, no. It was that the interest thing there, and the interesting seeing there is that you don't abandon the human.
Right.
What you do is abandon, I'll say, the stories,
Mm,
the beliefs, the pain and the suffering associated with the storified experience of humanity.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
you see it, but you don't believe it. In
Yeah. 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 Exactly. Yeah.
So you're not losing what it is, quote, losing what it is to be fully human. In fact, you're much more intimate with humanity, with your own humanity
Right.
and all of it. Because the stories are the filters, the I like this, I don't like that, I'm afraid of this, I'm not a, I
Yeah.
want this, I don't want that. All of the stories are filtering your experience of the other, of
Right.
humanity.
Well, the stories are kind of like yeah, like a filter. Exactly. They are kind of like a resistance to reality.
Yeah,
They're attempting to hold it at arm's length, create
yeah,
some sort of framework that I can understand and say, okay, that's out there and it's not going to get me. Got it under control. There it
yeah.
is.
Under control. There's the key word there, right? That's what a person is. That's the wrapping of or the core of personhood is. Well, the core is fear. You wouldn't,
Mm,
if you didn't have fear, you wouldn't have any need to be a person.
right.
You wouldn't have anything to pretend to protect.
Right, right, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So, the fear is the big driver.
Mm.
Um, uh, Now, again, food, clothing, and shelter are critical to my very cellular survival.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
cells want to survive, right?
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
the urge of nature, procreant ever procreant,
Hmm.
as Walt Whitman said of nature. Um, so it's real enough, and I like that real enough.
It's
Alex
kind of
on
like a,
enough.
yeah, real enough. It's real enough.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's yeah. You can't live in denial of it. Denial of it is just another story, I feel like you're still
Another
entering.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, no stories. Oh, so what is a story? First of all, not first of all, we can just talk about what's a
A
story?
story is, well, it's conceptual, first of all. It's kind of like a framework that the mind creates, kind of it goes this, then therefore that, then therefore this. And it says that is reality. This little box contains reality and it's over there. And I have it on a shelf and I can look at it and say, there's reality.
Right, and I know it, and I've come to terms with it, or I'm feeling a victim of reality of that
Yeah.
rendered. There's a lot of victimhood,
Yeah.
and mental, what are they calling it currently? Mental health issues.
Mm.
I think you've heard me say that I saw some statistics that indicated some 40% of the adult population in the US is in one form or another taking mental health, engaged in mental health therapies or
Mm.
um, issues, we'll say, related to mental health. There's a lot of confusion and um, seeking. But in any case, the story, you could say the main ingredient of a positive story is hope. And the main ingredient of a negative story is fear.
Hmm. Hmm.
And both of them are mind generated.
Mm-hmm.
They're just my ideas about what I'm looking at. So if I see a world that's colored with hope, then it gives me some sense of, well, things suck today, but you know, tomorrow it'll be better,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. And then, of
Yeah.
course, with hope, always with hope, because it's hope, it's not actually in my hand. I'm not
Yeah.
hoping to get an ice cream bar. I'm hoping to get one, but I haven't got it right
Ah,
here.
huh?
So with the not having got it because you're hoping for it
Mm-hmm.
comes the fear that you won't get it. So hope, oblique stroke, fear are like
Hand in hand. Go hand in hand.
hand in hand, or I feel
That's
like I used to
interesting.
be able
Yeah.
to phrase these things better, but
No,
uh,
that's interesting. Okay, so fear and hope
interesting.
go hand in hand. And hope is kind of like only there because fear is present as well. You would
Yeah,
only have hope if you thought things were fearful and
yeah,
will become less so,
yeah,
right? That's
yeah,
hope.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And so of course, notions of control come from fear and hope.
Mm-hmm.
You hope you can, you're afraid you won't, or
Mm.
can't, or don't.
Yeah.
Uh, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
um, right, right down to the core operating principle of the person is fear.
Mm.
It's a defense, it's a pretense, it's uh, a contesting with, always establishing my space, my realm, my credibility, my friendships, my rights, all of that stuff. All have behind them fear that, in fact, in truth, we actually don't and aren't what we are thinking, believing, pretending ourselves to be.
Mm. Mm. Because
Uh,
underlying all of it is the fear of death or annihilation. And
fear.
that isn't real because you can't actually die because you're not actually the body. So those
That's
fears.
right. That's true. And fear is mind made.
Mm.
The saying, we have nothing to fear but fear itself.
Right.
That's where that saying gets its potency.
Mm.
Um, Fear is manufactured. I can look at any situation from fear, with fear, fearfully,
Yeah.
and gee, it could be roosters going around a barnyard, and I could have fear that, some fox is going to take my roosters, or,
Yeah.
like make a story about a fearfully inflected, fearfully shaded, fearfully jaded rendering of experience, right?
Mm. Mm.
And so fear shapes so much of our human condition. In
Mm.
fact, it's the key of conditioning.
Mm.
The and it goes back through aeons or whatever of human history, survival, and so there, with fear, while it's mind made, it has I'll say, instinctive aspect, which is legitimate,
Mm.
in very, very legitimate to the body.
Interesting. Yeah. So
Uh,
you're saying that, well, yeah, I would say that it's like there is some sort of relevance to protecting yourself, especially if you're not very conscious. The whole world is kind of threatening because you are creating a world of separation and you see your things as something somebody else would want. And then you're kind of projecting this kind of world of everybody's going to try to take what I got. Why not?
Yeah.
Of course, because
Protect,
I want to
protect.
take what they have. It's like,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and the other elements that are all, fear is the core, but fear is behind greed. Fear is behind power.
Mm-hmm.
Fear is the mover and shaker
Mm,
of the human experience.
mm,
And
mm,
it has a legitimacy in the realm of survival, food,
mm,
clothing, and shelter,
mm-hmm.
cellular,
Yeah. Yeah.
bodily realm, that realm. It's real enough, as we're
Mm-hmm.
saying, real
Mm-hmm.
enough.
Yeah.
Where it loses all of its potency is when one discovers or uncovers awareness
Mm,
as one's self nature.
mm, mm,
And that awareness is pure and uncorruptible.
Mm,
It's not personal.
mm,
And so it's hard for us to kind of, I'll say, for a moment, abandon being a person. Don't have to do it like, forever. It's you bring it back in kind of to your sphere of living. But at some point there has to be, that's where they say the death of the person. I don't mean the physical death. I mean something has to die for something to be born.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something has to end. A belief system has to come to a conclusion,
Yeah.
not a mental one, but a it's grace. It's just the movement of grace that it reveals itself. And
Mm,
there's the recognition that that's not what I am. All these things I believe I am, all these fears, all that stuff, just mind-made productions.
right. Right.
Yeah. All what I am isn't personal, it is awareness, and that awareness has or is identity.
Mm, mm,
Identity, that's the strength that you're getting in the person that we talked about earlier.
right.
There is, but you can drop the real enough part,
Uh-huh.
drop the enough, just
Uh-huh.
drop enough, and recognizing and living in and as and through one's aware being nature is real,
Mm,
is the reality behind the need to uh, pretend
mm,
that we must recognize, or if we don't recognize that, we'll stay in our pretensions and suffer them and pass on the suffering to our children
mm.
or our friends or whatever. It's like it's a uh, there's this thing with influencers going with, capital I influencers,
You mean
what's her name?
like social media influencers, you mean?
Yes, yes, that's
Okay.
what I'm referring to. Yeah. And our ignoring of what we are, in other words, ignorance, the
Mm-hmm.
ignoring of what we are, that's the only real meaning of ignorance,
Mm-hmm.
which the Buddha claimed was cause of suffering is ignorance,
Mm,
is the ignoring of what we are.
mm,
When that is no longer ignored, then there's real growth, real change, real um, peace, joy, love, and beauty. Like you don't have, romantic notions of love. You love.
mm. Yeah.
It's not a word. It's not a notion. It's not a mind-made feeling, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Uh, and you don't even know what love is, but you find out
Yeah.
moment to moment.
Right.
And and from that love, you can appreciate real beauty.
Mm.
Before you had the idea beauty was, hourglass figure, whatever, all of the stuff of, that's the media is generated and we perpetuate and share about social beliefs of what's beautiful and what is ugly.
Yeah.
Everything becomes beautiful because it is. Just
Mm,
simply, this is beautiful, whether
mm,
it's painted and comes from China or not. A cup is everything in the realm of our awareness takes on a new um, beauty.
Mm, mm,
And again, it's not conventional beauty or institutionalized beauty or what the museum tells you and sells you as beauty. Not that those things aren't beautiful, but if you look at life or at art, you go to a museum
mm-hmm,
and you walk around and you're looking at it one of two ways. Probably most likely we're looking at it from our likes and dislikes.
mm-hmm,
Good, bad, right, wrong, beautiful there. Everything is kind of being edited and adjusted and we're touched here but not there, and et cetera, et cetera.
mm,
That's the human filter of likes and dislikes, our conditioning. That's
mm,
what our conditioning does when it goes to an art gallery.
mm,
The other way to go is to be totally open and clear channeled, I'll say, not seeing out of prejudices,
mm,
likes and dislikes and fears and whatever, but just being intimate with what one is looking at, with with what one is feeling about it, seeing the prejudices. So you don't look through them. You see your human conditioning and you look through that,
mm,
like beyond it. Because the story, you don't want to have a storied experience. You look at a tree, you don't need a story about it. What's it called? It's a pine, it sheds, all of the head stuff, whatever that we bring to experience. It's so critical to remember that what we think and believe shapes our experience.
mm.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna I'm gonna repeat that for my own clarity too. Because it's something you live.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and if you walk into a room and you already know whatever you already know, then the real experiencing, because it's an ongoing thing. It's not experiences get stored in memory
Mm-hmm,
and apparently, but they're not even stored. There's just pieces, fragments
mm-hmm,
of memory is just fragments of experience.
mm,
Like you dropped the cup and broke it and picked up one piece, and that you remember.
mm-hmm,
The whole thing is totally gone except a fragment of it, and that fades over time to the point where it's not reliable, or well, it never was,
mm,
because it was always a fragment of what you lived, of your
mm,
lived experiencing. So
mm,
it's only in the moment that you can have a lived experiencing,
mm, mm,
right?
mm-hmm.
Is
Yeah.
that, I mean, that seems to make sense when I say it, and I think that's my
And
experience.
it's the only, I mean, if you really look at it, it's the only thing that's ever been happening is your lived in moment by moment experience. It's
Right
only
now.
in the moment by moment experience which you imagine a past and that
Yeah.
that thing happened to me, but that's still, you're totally in the moment. You're just
Yeah. Yeah.
imagining a past.
Well, and the curious thing is when we talk about it, even with using words in the
Mhm.
moment, we're suggesting that we're in time.
Mhm.
But the now is not in time. Now is infinite.
Mm.
It's not a slice of time, oh, here's
Right.
now, and there's a
Right.
spectrum of time, and I've got a slice of it called now.
Hmm.
No, it's a whole different dimension. It's vertical. I mean, it's not on the horizontal plane of time,
Mm.
but it's infinitely here.
Mm.
uh, as soon as we use words, this is why silence is the best teacher.
Mm,
As soon as we introduce words, we introduce duality
mm-hmm,
because a word comes from and is representative of experience, but it only labels, represents reality. It has
mm,
no real beingness. I mean, you can use words and we point with words and we shape
right.
and whatever, but, just sit in silence for 2 minutes and let words just kind of come and go and fall away.
Mm,
Then you get the nitty gritty,
mm.
if you will, again, beyond the words.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, it's just kind of that's what meditation's so helpful for, I feel like. It's just you're unwinding. There's a deep unwinding that's happening when there's not a reaction to your environment or even your thoughts.
Yeah.
You're just not reacting.
Everything comes and goes
Yeah,
in
it's
meditation.
it's so much easier to see it for me when I'm just sitting silently. You can just
Yeah.
see, oh, this is very impersonal. All these thoughts, they're just happening. Oh,
Yeah.
there's the narrative again. Oh, here it comes. Oh, there it goes. Like it, and it just feels a lot more like it's almost as if thoughts are no longer in here, but they're out there. Thoughts are
Yes.
something out there, and it's a very, yeah, I guess I mean, there's a liberation in that you're not tied to that identity and that structure and those storylines and that narrative anymore because you can see that and it's dissolving every day. It's like, oh, a little piece of that fell off. It seems to have never been real all along. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so clear now. I don't know how I didn't see that before. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, it's very, some things kind of have sort of flower in like first the bud, then the bloom, then the fulfilling whatever. And there with awareness, it's first sensing, and it goes on, and you don't lose it, but you lose an aspect of it. What I mean is there's a witnessing
Hmm.
when you say out there my thoughts, and that there's there needs to be to kind of uncover our aware nature a a separation, apparently a mental of something, of an inside and an outside,
Mm.
uh, and the that's what we could call witnessing,
Mm-hmm.
or and there's a witness there that kind of, as the blooming occurs, and again, I'm only talking about myself here in some ways, but I think it's maybe useful. There's a movement. The witnessing is essential, but then there's a movement away from being a witness, as in an entity that is witnessing,
Ooh, yeah.
right?
Like
Because that divide,
you're that. Yeah, it's another separation.
it's
It's an
another
ego. It's another
finer,
ego. Yeah.
subtler separation, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm over here witnessing that thing
Yeah,
happening
yeah.
and there's a sense of wanting that too. It's like I want to be out of this whole thing. This is a mess. Get me out of here. Okay, I'm
Absolutely.
back here. That's
Right,
not me,
right.
Yeah.
This is where it's so important to recognize that the story of one's experience, the conditioning of experience, is filtering the oneness of reality.
Mm,
That there is no, there can be witnessing without a witness. There can be
Mm.
love without a lover, a me,
Hmm.
any kind of center. Same with meditation. Meditation can grow into being without a meditator,
Mm. Yeah.
right? No center to it. Just there's this communing, if you will,
Hmm.
but no author, no no me doing something, because
Mm.
there is no doer. There's
Mm.
no there's nothing to be done, fortunately,
Mm.
other than to clear, if you will, clear the decks, um, clear the mind for a moment of what it of all the beliefs and fears and all. Just park all of that
Hmm.
and leave an open space.
Right.
I don't know. I really, really, really don't know. I don't even, there's no I don't know anything. Then,
Yeah.
and only then, really, because if you know something, if there's still a knower that
Hmm.
gets around to knowing and knower, if there's still a knower, a center, then that's the bifurcation of experience, right? That's the dual life we live in the human separated world, right? In our
Hmm.
minds.
Hmm.
In fact and in truth, absent our stories
Hmm.
about what's going on, um, reality presents. And I can't tell you, and nobody can. And if anybody tries to tell you what reality is or the truth is, find a door.
Right. Yeah. No, because yeah, you only want to cling to a truth because you're afraid that you might not have it. Yes,
You
right.
might not know it. Oh, now I know it.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
know it. I know it. I know it for sure. I definitely know this. Yeah.
Yes. And I'll give it to you. And
And the
yeah,
more
and
people you
there's,
get on that page, the more you
yeah,
feel like you really do have it. And you associate with people who think they have it. And now you all have it. See, we have it. We have it for sure. See all the
yeah,
evidence? There's so much
yeah,
evidence, it's like,
yeah.
and
That's
it's
what religions have done. I mean, they
right.
started with the core understandings. They're all starting from, I'll say, reality and a awareness of reality.
Uh-huh.
All of them, from Jesus, all the forms of Muslim, whatever, all of them. But they get, you know, you ask me about something and I tell you something, then you pass that on to somebody else who passes it on. And each time it bifurcates.
Hmm.
And my personal, what I actually heard and what I think I heard are two different things.
Right.
So everything gets watered down. It's like I remember going to some class, whatever, on communication, where we lined up and somebody at the front of the line was given a commentary like it's a beautiful autumn day when when I'm living and playing and having fun with my friends over at the park or something like that. Now,
Mm.
pass that on to the person right beside you.
Mm. Yeah.
And then pass that, and each one passes it on. The story that comes out the end is hints and allegations, but it's quite and I'm making a bad example. Maybe I could get a more technical one and it would be even more
Mhm.
abused or obviously abused,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
than the one I'm giving, which is more whatever, languid and poetic or something. So I'm not not necessarily any kind of a good communicator or a teacher. I just talk and
Yeah.
reflect.
No, but I mean, that's it. Yeah, religion has a tendency to kind of I think that's what I mean, I've heard, I don't know, do you know Richard Rohr? He talks,
Yes,
yeah, he talks
I have.
about religion. What?
I had some discussion with him on my website on Facebook. I mean,
Oh, you did. Oh, you
yeah,
talked to him?
he well, exchange in
Oh, over email or
written words like
okay.
blogging,
Oh,
a
okay, cool.
blogging exchange.
Yeah.
Um, this was some years ago, and
Uh-huh. Yeah, but he talks about, I mean, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but he says that you have to have a person to let go of the person, or there's some sort of stabilization in the beginning where you're seeking to find solid ground in identity. And then you gradually release that over time. And I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I mean,
well, don't be sure.
okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Don't tell me you know the truth. Oh my
Right.
God. You know,
But it
um,
helps me to contextualize
yeah,
religion as it's not, I mean, and I feel like this is true that life is always taking care of life, and there's different, it's like different classes, you're at a different stage in your development. And at one stage, you're going to be seeking external approval, external authority because you're too afraid to acknowledge your own inner authority, and it's just too much for you to handle. And at
yeah,
that time, that might be what you need, and that's okay. And that's just one step in a greater releasing and falling into your truer identity, right? Like,
yes, yes. I mean, the reliable teacher, the most reliable teacher is your inner teacher,
right. That's
right?
right.
Your inner guru, as some might call it. What I would call that inner teacher is love.
Mm,
And if you follow love, you can't go wrong. You might stray here and there and find out, oh, that wasn't love. I thought it was,
right.
you know, because love has no attachment. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm attached to this. I'm attached to that. Well, take a look. Is that love? Is it?
Mm, mm.
Be very sincere. If you can't be sincere and earnest about the deeper things in life, there is no way that uh, a kind of real growth can happen.
Well,
You're
and I
just,
think it's inevitable still. Like eventually life gets to you. You get beat down enough, you start to get really depressed. If you're not growing,
yeah,
you start to
yeah,
feel like you're dying and it's not
yeah.
fun. And eventually you become sincere. That's what
I think so. I
that's
think
my
so.
sense of things.
Yeah,
You can only
yeah.
handle so much before you start getting really honest and earnest and sincere. You're like,
Thank, if
yeah,
we didn't have suffering, I mean, and the magnitude of it,
yeah,
each of us has a different kind of, I'll say, tolerance. I think some people have immense tolerance for suffering that I
yeah,
quitted. I quitted sooner with my own suffering, which I was felt was immense. And then I see people, the suffering of all humanity seems to be represented in their uh,
yeah.
life.
Uh, kind
Trump
of.
is a good example, actually.
Yeah,
No, I
everybody
mean
would say that.
he's beyond. I'm not bringing politics into it. He is a good example of untransformed suffering,
Mm,
unlearned lessons.
Mm.
unobserved experience. None of it is observed. I mean, he's so
He's very much
crystallized,
I
crystallized.
just see him acting and behaving as kind of adolescent or childlike. Like he just
There
acts
you
and
go.
behaves like a child would who is trying to prove something. Like, oh, I'm the greatest, I'm the best. Like, just in case nobody noticed, trust me.
Well, well, I mean, and on the QT, there is no Trump.
Hmm. Exactly. Right. Exactly.
Right. Now, how could one that contracted accept any threat to that contraction? The
Well, it would take
narcissist,
immense suffering. That's what I think it takes.
that's what I'm saying. And that's what I see is the symbolic immensity of all of human all that ails humanity, focused and concentrated into one very large public example
Mm. Mm.
of suffering.
And in some ways, I think, is it Mother Teresa who said that she was grateful or that somehow the suffering of others gave her an opportunity to
Yeah.
be more of herself. Like I was like
Oh, yeah.
something like that. Like it was kind of like
Yeah.
that's their gift to me, which is an interesting way of perceiving it, you know?
That's beautiful. Nicely put. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what that I would say she's a good example of awareness functioning through love
Hmm.
to ease suffering.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and um, that recognition and that expression,
Mm.
and we don't need to put a name to it like Mother Teresa. It's love, loving,
Hmm. Right.
whatever the way we would label it. That is the end of suffering.
Mm.
It doesn't perpetuate suffering.
Mm.
Uh, Whereas when we are suffering and we're not connected in some loving way to it, to ourselves, we perpetuate suffering.
Hmm.
Like a radiator gives off heat, we give off to all our relationships and wherever we go.
Hmm.
Similarly, fortunately, love emanates only much more powerfully, actually,
Right. Right.
much more powerfully. It's funny, not funny, but it's amazing that love is so much greater than all the suffering, the absence of it, or the apparent absence of it, because it's never gone. I mean, love isn't never, it's not a fashionable thing or subject to, ideologies and, you know, uh, God on my side and not on yours. And,
Right.
you can't mess with love itself. And
Right.
it's
Right.
what we are.
And
It's what we,
it is it's like the most nourishing, endlessly supportive, always helpful thing. It's like there's
yeah,
not
yeah,
there's always a way to love something
yeah,
that's kind of always the path forward. It's like if I
yeah.
can't love
You
somebody
live
else,
it.
at least I can love myself. And
Yes, yes, yes. And
so
it's living. It's
right.
not a theory. It's not an idea. It's a living, um, hmm, it's it's not a thing, you see. I mean, it's not an experience. Like awareness is not an experience.
Hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
are aware of experience, but experience is in the body, mind, sense-based consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
sentient consciousness. That's where the experiencing is going on.
Mm.
Awareness has no, it's not attached. There's no story that it has about
Mm-hmm.
anything. If you
Yeah.
don't have a story, then you're living, functioning, and moving from love, because
Mm.
love isn't the story. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you
Love
can't.
isn't a story.
No, no, and it doesn't have a beginning and an end. It doesn't have any conditions. It doesn't even have qualities that we would, the mind and the feelings would write about, say, all about love. It
Mm.
is.
It is. Yeah.
It is like awareness is, like reality is.
And it's kind of like the source of all, I mean, it is the source of everything, but I'm like, it even suffering is an act of love. Like it's God, like I guess you could call it God. God's gift to humanity is suffering. Like it's like that
It is.
suffering is going to lead to greater joy than you could ever imagine. So in an
Yeah,
actual fact, it's a gift. And that
yeah,
only
yeah, yeah.
becomes apparent after the fact, typically.
Yes, yes. It's not too well received generally. It's
But
a
otherwise,
corrective.
yeah, exactly. And otherwise,
Like
you'd
the
be
market
stuck.
gets a corrective.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Otherwise, you'd stay stuck. And I mean, yeah, just thinking that through, it's like there's no, because it's actually you causing the suffering in yourself, whatever. Yes, it is that.
Yeah.
Or awareness is aware of the infinite and your inclusion in it requires you to experience pain so you become gr a greater gift to humanity. I'm not sure exactly how it
Well,
all works, but
I don't know about the becoming part. You are a great gift. We,
right.
yeah,
Or it's just causing it's the suffering is forcing you to let go of things that aren't serving you.
that aren't real, that aren't satisfying. Definitely not serving you.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
and there's no you in there to be like. This is the thing is that the you, the person, is never going to be happy because it prejudges experience.
Hmm.
It has to. It's a dual. It functions in duality,
Hmm.
in breaking everything into either or,
Hmm.
good, bad, right, wrong. It cannot see a world where there isn't the either or
Hmm.
um, operating one way and another,
Yeah.
dividing, separating. So how can you be happy if what you are is um, non-dual, we'll say,
Hmm.
is, and that's a nice word because it doesn't say what you are, it says what you aren't, in a sense that, well, you aren't
Dual.
dual, but
Yep.
it doesn't attempt in a word to actually say what you are,
Right.
because there you go into silence.
Hmm. Hmm.
There we
That's
fall into
good.
silence.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, non-dual. It is, I mean, it does really encapsulate, I guess. That's kind of, it's definitely better than saying one.
It seems to be a little, whatever, clearer portrait or pointing. It has been for me. I never ran in my long spiritual journey. The term non-duality didn't appear until about the last 5%.
Of your
I
life.
never had that.
Really?
Well, it wasn't popular even. Like,
Oh.
I mean, it just wasn't. There was all sorts of stuff and being present and remembering yourself and all kinds of things that brought one closer to, in hindsight, closer to some recognition.
Uh-huh.
and and yet also took you away because there was a me remembering himself. There
Uh-huh.
was a me, a person making efforts to become in time something special,
Right. Right.
you know? So that takes you away.
Hmm.
Non-duality kind of destroys. And I'm sure that there are those, whether it's at a conscious level or a subconscious level, avoid the non-duality and maybe even give it short shrift, sort of thing, because it's a threat to what they believe, and
You
they've got to
mean
keep.
religious communities?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
oh, for
or just
sure,
like,
for sure. Yeah, I mean, I
yeah,
would say a lot of religious communities think, oh, I mean, it's just, oh, that's spiritual mumbo jumbo. I mean,
yeah,
I've
yeah.
heard people say that it's kind of like, isn't that just another belief system
There
that
you go.
you're into
There you go.
non-duality? That's kind of
Yeah, yeah,
well, and it's hard to describe like, well, what's the non-belief system? What happens when you let go of all belief systems?
yeah.
It's hard for somebody to understand that, I feel like. What do you mean let go of all belief systems? What would that, I mean, I can't even perceive what that is. Yeah, I
So
guess that's the point. Yeah, yeah.
this this is where it gets to wherever anybody I've teachers, whatever I've talked to or read in the realm of non-duality, one way and another, they get to saying something like ripening is all. You have to be sincere and earnest
Mm,
yourself
mhm,
directly about knowing what's going on, who you
mm,
are, what
mhm,
really, and there's no substitute for earnestness.
mm,
And of course, most of us don't really want to go there. Then it's too painful. You got to let go too much attachment. The sacrifices seem too great.
mm.
The fears, um, there's all sorts of defensive mechanisms that one backs into.
Right. I find in myself there's defensive mechanisms there. I mean,
Ditto.
yeah, they come up and there's shadow elements. I guess is what you could say. I'm not
Yeah.
sure, but there's parts that are just like, no, 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 don't look here. Like, why? You know? And it's
That,
just
that's that's why it's so important to look with love. I
mm,
mean, and to even examine, especially what you think love is and feel love is,
mhm,
and really test yourself on, and like, you don't need to make a show of it or anything. Just find some quiet space and place,
mm,
and 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 maybe some people journaling is a good way to get started in deepening their understanding. I see people in cafes all over Berkeley, anywhere, especially in the urban cafes, where anyway, they're journaling. There's a lot of journaling going on, one form and another. Um, and I have several volumes of my journals that
mm,
I started, and they were explorations, and I put quotes in there that inspired me, and then I kind of came back to it the next day or week or whatever, read it again and had some more insight. And uh, if I were to take my diaries and organize them by date,
mhm,
which I suppose you could, uh, you would see the exfoliation of uh, uncovering or discovering one's inner being nature.
mm,
And
mm,
at times seemed to be part of it. But at
mm,
a certain point, And you can't just accumulate in time any kind of series of understandings that actually deliver a situation that you have become enlightened,
Mm,
say. What has to occur, in my experience, and there's different ways of putting it in different understandings, and that's all good, is there has to be an immediate recognition, an instant dawning of the simplicity of one being aware itself, awareness itself,
mm,
not aware of something, but awareness.
mm, mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
See, awareness is not aware of something, you know.
mm-hmm,
Again, phrase words get really break things up.
mm-hmm.
Awareness has is a essential, substantial beingness,
Mm,
and you don't arrive at that. You are that already, already, already.
right, right,
Already is to use a term in time, like going from here to there, and to put already as we bring that together, and we still seem to be using time, but awareness is recognized in and as the timeless,
mm, mm,
no time.
mm,
The rest might be a preamble or preparation and essential for some. Certainly, my unraveling had to be go the way it went,
right,
and yours will go the way it will go.
yeah,
And you aren't doing anything. I didn't do anything.
yeah,
Love is just finding its expression in you. It not even in you, in love.
right,
It's love loving, as I say. That's all there is. That's all there is.
right. And it feels like there's a reason for it. I've had really big awakenings that have been like shattered my life, like really challenging afterwards. So I'm not on some level, I'm kind of like, oh, gentle is good. I don't necessarily need giant openings all the time to feel like there's a gradual, I mean, definitely for sure. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, I'm definitely, mm, I'm I guess all things or just definitely not just this person. That's for sure. I'm not 100% sure I'm everything, but sometimes it feels like the more relaxed I get, the more that's the case. The more
Yeah,
it's just like, oh, there it is. Yeah, of course.
of
And
course.
it's
Well,
very obvious, but it seems like things can come up that if there's resistance or somehow there's something that believes that it could be harmed or hurt, there's sort of a sense of separation that comes in. And
yeah,
it's like, oh no, you know?
yeah, yeah. I started to say what a lot of teachers and whatever I've talked with, the need for earnestness is essential. The other thing that comes to mind, so to speak, is stop putting it off.
Mm,
Like I'm eat for each of us to say to recognize that there is awareness already.
right.
There's nothing to become, absolutely nothing to become. There's no no amount of anything to become. You already home. You're sitting in your home
Right.
already.
Yeah.
And so there's no like, but we kind of that's the recognition that's timeless, that happens. That's you know, I there's a man that I read his writing, and I think I had some exchange with him, a Frenchman in Paris. This is going back some time ago. He was a real estate agent, and he was going to work, and he bent over at a curb to tie up his shoe,
Uh-huh.
and he had this instant
Opening.
opening recognition,
Right.
and it changed his entire life. So like it's that he didn't do anything, and
Right.
he lived on an island after, and he had people come and stay with him, and it was quite well known in the French, particularly at that time, and uh, this is how innocent one is,
Right. Yeah.
just a place of innocence and not of longing, not of ache, not of manufacture, not of any urging. It's just something like tying your shoelace and bang, oh, of
Yeah.
course, of course. And
Yeah.
everybody says who's had anything like that, use the term like, well, it was obvious. It's
Yeah.
obvious. It
A-
is obvious.
And in retrospect, everything makes a lot more sense. It's like you look
Yeah.
back through your life, which is like, oh, that's what's happening the whole time. That was like, oh, okay. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Obviously, obviously. I mean, that word is useful there, or sums up a
Right.
lot
My
of,
my first big awakening out of Christianity was
yeah.
just like that. I mean, literally within 1 minute, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, huh, yeah. Like it was just, it wasn't a big deal. Like, but it was
No,
the
it doesn't
biggest
have
deal.
to be a big deal. No, no, no.
But it felt the feeling quality was quite big. It was quite like, whoa, I've never felt this good for doing nothing before. I just feel great. I feel great. Like I just feel like, wow, this is better than anything I could accomplish or get or do. And yet I'm not doing or accomplishing anything. And at the same time, it felt very obvious, very normal, very like, well, yeah, I was kidding myself this whole time. I don't know where I got it.
Before. Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
You were just believing something.
yeah. And
Yeah,
nonsensically, it didn't even seem like it made it very much sense, or how could I have, how could I have,
yeah.
how could I have thought differently? Like, I don't even, where did I get that idea? I can't even believe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's the recognition, and then there's the mind's interpretation of what just happened.
Hmm.
So the recognition is not an experience. It's not an experience in terms of body mind knowing anything. Experience it can shake out into time, into the reflections in time. But
Right.
because it's timeless, you can't even talk about it. Like
Right.
it's not like you've got it stored in memory. You're not even, you know something happened, but you only know that after the fact.
Hmm.
When it happened, there was no you. There was no record of it. There was just um, um, an explosion, if you will, of a kind of infinity.
In simplicity. I mean, it's nothing
Yeah.
special kind of feeling.
No, no, no. It's your home. You've been here all along. You never left it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the rest, what was I thinking?
What was I thinking?
What
Yeah.
was I thinking?
I was thinking that was the thing. Yeah. Lost in thought, I guess. Yeah. And it's really based on the premise of a what if. What if I am separate? I guess is the only thing. It's like what if I am just this separate being and there's I die. That's over. I mean, really, that's basically what it is, kind of, right? It's a speculation. It's almost like a
Absolute
super.
mind speculates. That's all the
Yeah,
mind can do.
yeah,
It hasn't a clue. The mind hasn't a clue, and it could never have a clue. Get a PhD in everything, and you still won't be any closer to knowing reality
right.
that
It's well, it's
you are.
almost takes you further away sometimes. I feel like the
Well,
more
it
you
would.
know.
No, no, you go off in spirals or
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
because there's no center to reality. There's no personal center.
right,
It it's everywhere.
right,
It's like space. Space doesn't have a center. Take the
right,
walls down and in the room you're in, and you know, it's just space. Like it hasn't got any confinement. It's
right,
so to
right,
speak. No descriptions, no barriers, no limitations, you
right,
know.
right, right. And it's infinitely loving as well. It's just kind of in
Um,
this, and on some level, it doesn't seem to kind of favor this body necessarily over every other body. It's such a,
doesn't no
yeah,
favorites, no
yeah,
favorites. Well,
which is funny.
favorites are here. Favorite colors are even here.
Yeah,
Any favorite is a distinguishing. It's not that you don't in your functioning and aware living that you don't have the human qualities of favorite colors. Oh, I love yellow and I'm not so fond of that.
yeah,
Hopefully you
no,
don't hate
exactly.
the color,
But it's
but
like there's this, yeah, like awareness that's looking at that saying, this is important. He needs to be around yellow, but it's not really important for him to do this thing over here, and so it's more like there's some sort of extra existential intelligence that's at work. I feel like intelligence maybe is the wrong.
that's what I'm sort of pointing to when I say that awareness has identity.
Mm,
That's the strength, the it's a very big threshold to cross. For me it was.
mm.
It still kind of rocks me in a gentle way, uh the fact that awareness is identity, identity is awareness. That's quoting Nisargadatta.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
from I
Yeah.
Am That.
Mm,
I could give you a page 478 or 73, I think, something like
wow.
that. I'm not even sure of the number because numbers are, but oh, I came across it when I read it, when I first read it 20 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I had it underscored, but it didn't really sink in. I've read that book 5 or 6 times, and each time, as it happened, had a different colored pen or marker and marked it all up. So it's all, bleeding different colors.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just been leafing through it. Sometimes I just want to just sort of look through my jewel box, so to speak, and I have a box of jewels called I Am That, which I definitely recommend it. That people read that if they're whatever inclined powerfully
And
to
that's
do.
just a collection of his talks, not really. He didn't write
No,
it.
no, it's not his writing. He never wrote.
Mm,
He only spoke. And but a couple of very avid, earnest type people, Englishmen, made notes,
oh, interesting.
and right there, or they were sitting right there in the meetings, and
Uh-huh.
they were transcribing, and he'd been asked, or he'd agreed to have his meetings, little satsangs up in his attic with
Right.
like maybe 12 people.
Uh-huh.
he'd been invited by a couple of them to let them record, or either like with a recorder,
Uh-huh.
or write down word for word in English what he was saying in Marathi.
Mm,
He had a translator always sitting at his elbow who
mm,
understood Marathi and some English, plus the people who wrote down his uh, utterances um, were linguistically gifted also. I mean,
mm,
they were really in deep into understanding the Indian world, and at the time, India,
mm,
and it was a colony to Britain, or it had been, you know.
mm, mm,
But in any case, um, he never wrote per se, but and I've heard recordings, but
mhm.
you can see them. Go on YouTube and just type in
Yeah,
Nisargadatta.
I've seen some, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. And,
I have. Yeah.
so,
Yeah, I think my favorite one that I've read many times, well, mostly I listen to it on audiobook, but the I Am Not the Body. I don't know if you've heard that one, but that was one of the main quotes. I think it's the beginning of the book. It says,
yeah,
I am not the body, but it's equally true to say I am all the bodies. And that's a,
absolutely. That's
yeah,
what we're saying. The,
yeah.
there's another lovely phrase that he has, um, that awareness is reflected in consciousness in the body.
Uh-huh.
I know he doesn't say in the body. I'm adding that awareness is reflected in consciousness, and I'm saying about that word, use of the word consciousness. He
Mm,
distinguished, for purposes of his teaching, awareness from consciousness. For him,
mm.
consciousness was, that body, mind, feeling, sensing, tasting. That
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's what he called consciousness.
Oh, okay. And
And
then,
awareness is that which is aware of consciousness. And he would also say you can have consciousness, you can't have consciousness without awareness.
yeah, no, that's true. You can't really have anything without awareness, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. But you can have awareness without consciousness.
Like, yeah, I guess. I don't know what that would be like.
Yeah, you wouldn't know what that would be, but awareness isn't a knowledge-based sensing, feeling, all limited to the human dynamic. And I
Mm,
mean, God, there's probably a whole lot more than six senses,
mm,
actually.
hmm.
Six is, geez, still in the single digits. You know, so,
Child's play is expensive.
but so you can have consciousness. You can't have consciousness without awareness, but you can
Hmm.
have awareness without consciousness. That means when the body passes, when one dies, when I die,
Hmm.
this body, this consciousness dies for sure. That which is aware of that never dies.
Right, right, right.
And it isn't like a belief or something. It's something you can know
Hmm. Hmm.
directly, not because somebody said that,
Mm, hmm.
and you don't then believe what somebody said.
Hmm.
That's just a belief, another belief.
Right, right, right.
You
Yeah.
can actually directly, in the recognition of your aware being nature, know that what you are is infinite,
Mm,
deathless.
mm, mm. Yeah.
That's a fact. But again, not to take anybody's word for it.
Right.
Anybody, I say
Find
this.
out for yourself that you're deathless.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I guess we should wind up a bit here. We've been added a bit, and Alice come home from berry picking.
Yeah, no, I
Mhm.
really have to go to the bathroom.
Me too. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank
Really,
you so
really
much.
nice.
It was fun
Yeah,
talking to you. Yeah, this was a great
beautiful.
conversation.
We'll
So,
talk again, and let me know if I can, whatever, be of any help in any point
sure.
about anything. I don't know. It's a dog's life, and you're enjoying it. So, but
Right. Okay.
be